So this video is about The Body is Not an Apology, The Power of Radical Self-Love by Sonya Renee Taylor. This book, I found this book in my little free library actually, and then I listened to the audiobook that I got from my public library. And this book blew my tiny, tiny little brain. I knew when I saw this book in my library, my little free library, that I needed to take it out of there and keep it all for myself. I should buy another copy and put it in there for somebody else because this is a fantastic book. This book, it's deeply powerful. It covers so much and has given me so much to think about. I've read a few books lately that have really just given me so much to think about. This really delves into how we are programmed and conditioned to see ourselves and our bodies, and how that's really just so messed up and not at all helpful, and helps to make other people a whole lot of money and takes away from us and our happiness and our okayness with ourselves, and even then in our relationships with other people and how we are with other people, how we we don't not only body shame ourselves, but we body shame others. And it's awful. It's a whole pile of crap, and it's awful. And this book started me anyway, on the journey of not doing this anymore, or doing it less, of lessening this. So I'm very, very grateful for this book. So some of the things that I liked about it. I liked the unapologetic inquiries that are throughout the book, that she has throughout the book, even though that some of them were hard to face and think about. For example, inquiries about how we erase other people's identities when we try to make them the same as us and ignore the differences between us. So the ones that that are uncomfortable to think about are basically the ones that I've done myself. Then listening to this book have made me go, oh, okay, yeah, I get that. I can see how that is problematic and unhelpful and actually not a good thing. Good, good point there, Sonya Renee. I don't know. I don't know if she uses just her first name or first and middle name. But good point. I appreciate that. I appreciate knowing that then. So let's see, inquiries about how my earliest memories of body shame, what they are, and how they impact my life today. And also then avoiding meta shame, which is shame for having the shame, which is something that I totally do. But also just, thinking about like what are some of those earliest memories of body shame, which actually I talked about in a recent video about intuitive eating, which would be, me being considered too fat when I was young. And I am now looking for I know I have some photos of me in this blue and white striped bikini that I loved when I was like 9 or 10 years old, which was around the time when I was considered pudgy. And I want to look at them now with the eyes that I have now, my almost 45-year-old eyes that now actually need bifocals as well. But with the sight that I have, the insight that I have, because I don't think I was pudgy at all. I think I was completely normal, like looking, and also that it doesn't matter what size I was. No one should have said anything about my 8, 9, 10-year-old body. Like, that's so messed up. Like, why would anyone say those things to me, like within earshot? That's just so wrong. I wouldn't do that to a child now. Like, that's just so not okay. I hope if you're watching this video, I hope that you know that that's not okay. And if you don't know that that's not okay, so don't do that. Don't talk about other people's bodies. There's so many more interesting things that you can talk about other people. Their body is a tiny, 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 tiny bit that's interesting about them. Really. And it's none of your business. You might have an opinion. But, that's one of those things that, other people's opinion of me are none of my business. I don't want to know how you feel about my body. I really don't. I don't care because it's got nothing to do with me. It only has something to do with you. That's my tangent. Um, Other unapologetic inquiries are my the earliest memories of body shame and how they impact kind of how I am now still with myself today, and also how I am towards other people, right? Because I know that, oh gosh, I've done this so much and so often, and I didn't like myself when I was doing it either. I would look at other people and I'd make judgments about their body, usually not out loud, usually just in my own head, those comparisons about me versus them, that they were slimmer than me or fatter than me or whatever than me, which doesn't help either of us and has got nothing to do really with anything, with anyone's worth. It's got nothing to do with anyone's worth. Um, how my feelings about my body affect the purchases that I make, right? I bought diet pills occasionally, still a tiny bit tempted. Be like, oh, wouldn't it be nice if there was the magic pill that would make me somehow into some perfect vision that I have for myself? I clearly still have work to do. And my own beliefs about other people's bodies, whether those are fat bodies, disabled bodies, old bodies, transgender bodies, all bodies, right? My own internalized transphobia. All of that. All these unapologetic inquiries into these things, and how I have been at war with my own body. This is a slim book, right? It's not a very big book. It's 135-ish pages. It's not very big. I think I listened to a second updated edition, which I also recommend. It's such a rich book and deep book, I could easily do a video on each chapter. I'm not going to. Get this book, read it yourself, take it in, do the exercises to the best of your ability, even if you just think through them. Some of them I journaled out, wrote through it, because that's the way that I tend to process things, process emotions and thoughts. But there is so much. There is so much in here. There's so much in how we are with our bodies. And here's the thing, right? Here's one of the reasons that I feel like this is such an important thing. In order to experience this life, you live in your body. The only way that you can experience physical life, right, is to live in your physical body. Being at war with your physical body doesn't help you. It doesn't help you on any level, emotionally, physically. It really doesn't help you. We're all going to have stuff that's going on with our bodies for whatever reason. For me, it's chronic illness. In a variety of ways, I have fibromyalgia, I have chronic migraines, I have some other things going on that you probably don't want to hear about. It's just how it is with me. I've had back surgery for chronic back pain after a car accident. And that's, many of us, I don't know many people that don't have something going on with their physical body that's less than, perfect, whatever that is. That's, some like ultra Olympic medal vision, I guess, that we have. As a kid, I did not like how my nose looked. I really didn't. I didn't like the end of my nose. I really didn't like my nose. There's always something, right? And it's okay. It's okay to not live that vision of perfection, whatever that is. It's okay to have things that are quote unquote wrong, I guess. A lot of what we believe of how we're supposed to be is just bullshit that we're fed, usually by people who are trying to profit off us one way or another. They're trying to have power over us in some way, whether that's financially because we're willing to pay them a whole bunch of money to try to improve ourselves somehow, or because they want to have power, some other kind of power over us. but we live in these bodies. We have to live in a physical body in order to experience physical life, which I believe, as spiritual beings, entities, that's what we want to do. That's why we are here on earth in this physical existence on this earth plane, is to experience this physical life. We crave this. We really, for whatever reason, we really, really want to have this physical existence. So we have to live in this physical body. So being at war with this body makes no sense whatsoever. Being at peace with it, being as much as we can in harmony with it, listening to it, understanding what it wants and needs, and going with that in a kind way, in a nurturing, kind, compassionate way, is really what we need to be doing. So this book, The Body Is Not an Apology, it shifted things for me. It shifted things, helped me look at things from a different perspective. It's like, if you look at a figure, like this, from one way up, it's a 6, from the other way, it's a 9. If you look at it, sideways or from upside down, it looks different again. And so shifting your perspective can really help you see things in a whole new and different way. So I hope you're able to do that for yourself. However you get there, I think this book's a good way to do it. So I'll leave that with you. Give this video a like if you liked it, and let me know what you think. See you in the next one.